There's a country where you can stand with one foot on North America and the other on Europe, watching two tectonic plates physically pull apart beneath your feet at roughly the speed your fingernails grow. It sounds like something out of science fiction. It's just a normal Tuesday in Iceland. This is a place built entirely out of contradiction. Fire beneath ice, glaciers sitting directly on top of active volcanoes. A landscape so young in geological terms that some of it simply didn't exist 50 years ago. A land where the earth is still being created. Tonight, we're not doing the highlight reel everyone's already seen 100 times. We're going into a canyon carved by a single catastrophic flood. A black beach where the ocean itself has killed unsuspecting visitors. A glacier lagoon where thousand-year-old ice floats past you like abstract sculpture. And a sky that occasionally rips open in green light, for reasons humans only fully understood within the last century. By the time this ends, you'll understand why people who've traveled to nearly every country on Earth still say nothing prepares you for standing in Iceland. Reykjavik and the rift between two continents start in Reykjavik, and even the capital feels like it's constantly negotiating with the raw landscape around it. Walk down Laugavega, the main shopping street, past colourful corrugated metal houses painted in mustard yellow and deep blue, a building material chosen generations ago because wood was scarce, and this island had almost no forests left after Viking settlers cleared them centuries earlier. The air here smells faintly of the sea, and depending on the wind, occasionally of sulphur, a subtle reminder that the entire city sits on geothermal ground. Its homes and swimming pools heated almost entirely by hot water pulled directly from underground. Locals don't build hot tubs into vacation homes here. They build entire lives around geothermal pools, and on any given evening, you'll find half the neighborhood soaking in steaming water while snow falls silently around them. Discussing everything from politics to fishing quotas exactly the way people elsewhere might chat over coffee. But that's only the beginning. Because a short drive from the city takes you into Ingvellir National Park, and what looks at first like a beautiful valley is actually one of the most geologically significant spots on the entire planet. This is the exact seam where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are tearing apart, roughly 2 centimeters every year, slowly widening the rift valley you're standing inside. Walk through the Almanaj Gorge, sheer rock walls rising on either side, and you're literally walking through the crack between two continents. There's history layered on top of that geology too. In 930 AD, Iceland's earliest settlers gathered in this exact valley to found the Althing, one of the oldest parliamentary institutions in the world, standing on a natural rock platform specifically chosen because its acoustics carried a speaker's voice clearly across the entire crowd, without any need for amplification. A detail medieval Icelanders figured out through nothing but trial and error. Geyser and the Golden Falls. Just when you think the ground itself couldn't get any stranger, the next stop proves the sky can be just as dramatic. Continue along what's known as the Golden Circle, and you'll reach Geyser, the geothermal field that gave the entire world the word geyser. The original geyser has gone mostly dormant now, but its neighbor Strokku erupts reliably every 6 to 10 minutes, the ground rumbling faintly beforehand as a dome of water bulges upward like something breathing beneath the surface, before suddenly launching a column of boiling water 20 meters into the earth. Stand close enough, and you'll feel warm mist land on your face seconds later, carrying that same faint sulfur smell, while nearby, mud pools bubble and pop with slow, thick plops that sound almost alive. There's one waterfall nearby that completely reframes what you thought a waterfall could be. Gullfoss, meaning Golden Falls, drops in 2 dramatic stages into a canyon so deep, the river seems to simply vanish into the earth. On sunny afternoons, sunlight refracts through the rising mist into a rainbow that arcs directly across the falls, and in winter, the entire cascade partially freezes into massive columns of ice, while water still thunders through the gaps beneath. Few visitors know that this waterfall almost became a hydroelectric power plant in the early 20th century, until a local farmer's daughter, Sigrun Tamasta, spent years fighting the plan, reportedly threatening to throw herself into the falls if construction proceeded. The project was eventually abandoned, and today a small memorial near the falls honors her as one of Iceland's earliest environmental activists, decades before the word environmentalist was even common. Iceland's wild south coast. Just when you think you've seen the country's most dramatic landscape, the south coast changes everything. At Reynisfjara, black volcanic sand stretches beneath towering basalt columns, stacked so perfectly geometric, they look almost architectural, formed by lava that cooled and cracked into hexagonal shapes over thousands of years. Offshore, jagged sea stacks called Reynisdrangar rise from the water, and Icelandic folklore claims they're trolls caught by sunlight and turned permanently to stone while dragging a ship to shore. It's a beautiful story, but this beach carries a genuine warning too. Sneaker waves here have pulled unsuspecting visitors into the frigid North Atlantic without notice. Powerful enough that locals treat the shoreline with real respect rather than casual photo taking, standing well back from the waterline no matter how calm the ocean looks that day. Gögulsholm and Diamond Beach. What happens further along this coast might be the most surreal moment of the entire journey. At Gögulsholm, a glacial lagoon connects directly to the ocean, and enormous chunks of ancient ice, carved from the retreating Breiðamerkurkul glacier, drift slowly across the water in shades of white, deep blue, and sometimes streaked black with volcanic ash trapped inside from eruptions centuries ago. Some of this ice is estimated to be over 1,000 years old, compressed so tightly that all the air bubbles were squeezed out, which is exactly why it glows that impossible sapphire blue instead of white. Cross the road, and the tide carries smaller ice chunks onto black sand, scattering them across the shore like glass, earning this exact stretch the nickname Diamond Beach. Seals often surface between the floating icebergs, curious and unbothered, watching visitors just as closely as visitors watch them. The hidden people of Iceland. There's one belief woven through this entire country that most visitors dismiss as quaint until they notice how seriously it's actually taken. Icelandic folklore holds that Huldufolk, hidden people, live inside certain rocks and hills scattered across the landscape, invisible to most humans but very real to those who believe in them. This isn't just campfire storytelling, left over from the Viking Age. Road construction projects have genuinely been rerouted around specific boulders after public pressure over concerns they might be elf dwellings, and surveys conducted over the years have repeatedly found that a meaningful percentage of Icelanders either believe in these hidden people or simply won't rule out the possibility entirely. Drive through the countryside and you'll occasionally spot a small, oddly placed rock formation left completely undisturbed in the middle of an otherwise cleared field. A quiet compromise between modern development and a belief system that refuses to fully disappear, even in one of the most technologically advanced countries on Earth. So maybe what makes this island unforgettable isn't just the waterfalls, or the glaciers, or the lights overhead. Maybe it's standing somewhere that reminds you the Earth itself is still very much alive, still changing, still capable of surprising even the people who've lived here their entire lives. If this journey inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which destination you're adding to your bucket list.